All right, today we're looking at the brand spanking new S6000 from Nikon. This is a, just came out like not even a week and a half ago. Very, very sweet camera, 14.2 megapixel, 7x optical zoom. This thing is really, really powerful. It's got all the latest smart features that you're used to seeing in all the high-end cameras, except that this is not a super expensive high-end. It's kind of like the mid-range, but it does have like the beauty shot with the skin softening and the in-camera red eye reduction. It's got face tracking, continuous sports mode, where it gives you 4 frames per second at 3 megapixels. It's got the best shot selector, where it takes a bunch of photos and you get to pick out the one you like best, or the sharpest one. Has 4-way image stabilization, which we'll talk about in a moment. Very, very nice camera. So take it for a quick tour. I'm going to start you off with the lens. Of course, it's a NIKKOR glass, because they do make their own lenses, which are probably some of the best in the world. It is of the ED spec, so that means that you're going to get almost no chromatic aberration. It's going to look really, really sharp, great contrast. It's actually a 7x optical zoom. That makes it 28 to 196 millimeter, 35 millimeter equivalent. Now, something I didn't mention a second ago is that this thing does shoot 1280 by 720p video at 30 frames per second. So with a lens like that, that's going to get you all the way out to 196 millimeters and as wide as 28. This is an extremely powerful little video camera as well. Now, its maximum aperture value is f3.7. You can see it right there at the widest, and then f5.6 when you are all the way zoomed in. So very, very, very nice lens. It's going to work pretty decently in low light at the wide end at 3.7. 5.6 is going to kind of require some daylight or some external lighting besides, you know, night light. Now, I'll show you the top here. Very simple. Only 2 buttons on the top. I love it. Power switch, shutter release, and then this is the switch for the zoom toggle control. Very, very nice. Now, like I mentioned earlier, it does have 4-way image stabilization. The first one is the optical, basically built into the lens. The different elements in the lens will actually shift up and down as it senses movement, and that's going to keep the image aligned with the sensor. It's going to reduce blur. It's going to give you about 2 stops of extra range, which is really, really nice. Now, it is a fully automatic camera. There is no changing those stops yourself, but it's still there. It's added performance that the camera is going to give you. It also has motion detection, which is basically, it tells that there's a lot of motion going on. It's going to crank up the shutter speed, crank up the ISO. It's got the best shot selector, and then it's got a very high 3200 ISO. That's why they call it 4-way image stabilization. In reality, it's 1-way image stabilization, but they did kind of integrate some other technologies to make it work as an image stabilization. On the back of this thing, you do have a 2.7-inch, 230,000 dot LCD. Very, very nice. As you can see, the colors of my shirt look really, really good. It works in daylight, and it has a pretty good viewing angle, which I liked. You don't find that on cameras anymore. Very simple buttons over here. Basically, your record button for the video, scene mode, playback. This is your flash control, your exposure compensation, macro mode, timer. This is your OK button to set anything, menu, and then you have the dedicated delete button, which is really cool. Now I'm going to go ahead and go through the modes here. I'm going to show you what you can choose from. First of all, there's a full auto. Very simple. You do have the scene mode, where you can pick from all the scenes that are on here: portraits, landscapes, indoors, outdoors, night landscapes, museums, fireworks, etc., etc. There's even a backlight. That's a very powerful one right there. You're at the beach, the sun's behind you, the shot always comes out, the person is in a shadow. Of course, it's going to expose for the big bright sun behind it and not the shadow. This will take care of that. Very, very cool. You don't have to use a flash. Very neat feature. Now we'll go back. There's also a smart portrait mode. Again, smile timer. It's going to automatically take the picture when you smile. There is the blink proof, where basically it will take 2 pictures and use the one that someone didn't blink. There's blink warning. It will warn you if someone blinked. In-camera red eye fixing, face priority autofocus. It'll actually prioritize up to 12 faces on the screen. Very, very cool. And then there's also in-camera skin softening, which is a really cool feature. Moving down, there's subject tracking for doing the continuous 4 frames per second. If you want to track a football player, keep them in focus the entire time. Very, very cool. Now, I also want to show you startup time. It's a 0.75 second startup time. So here we go. Ready? I don't have a stopwatch, but that's about 0.75 seconds. And to release the shutter, 0.3 seconds. So very, very fast. One more time. Very, very fast. And I'll do it even one more time so you can see my finger actually come down on it. Very, very fast as far as that goes. So you're not going to miss any action with this camera. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. I'm going to show you that you do have right here, a very small, cool mini HDMI port. If you want to hook this up to a television and show the HD video or show any of the photos, you can do that. Very, very cool. Also, right down here at the bottom, I will show you, you do have an AV out as well. Kind of cool. Basically, the adapter's in the box, and it's going to give you AV out. That's very, very cool for older TVs. Right next to it is your SD card slot, as well as your battery. It does have a rechargeable lithium-ion battery, as well as the SD card slot right there. It does also take SDHCs, and that is basically it. This is a very, very sweet camera. Has all the advanced features. It's just as good out there as the S7 or S8000 actually. That is just a 10x zoom lens. So if you don't need beyond 196 millimeters, like who does, this camera is right up your alley. It's really awesome. It's not priced too expensive. It's not above $300 at all. In that direction, it's below. So very sweet camera. I really like it. It's the S6000. If you have any questions on it, feel free to email me. I'll see you guys next time. For more information on the Nikon Coolpix S6000, type in N13-4672 into any major search engine.